All right, folks, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Great to have all of us back inside our live trading room here. Great to see Genevieve, Michael, Grant, Leda, Phil, Mocktail. Got Rich here, Steve here, Bill here, all of our students directly inside our live trading room. Great to have you back. And once again, good morning. Mark, one of our trial members testing our room out. Great to have you here. Leda, Phil, Michael, and the Bill, all of us here, like I just said. Perfect. All right. Hey, all of us on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, etc. Huge announcement coming up for you. Just first and foremost, make sure to hit the follow and subscribe buttons down yonder at Cyber Trading You. If you're on YouTube, Facebook Live, etc. Break out my Gene Wilder there. But with that, though, huge event, not just today. We have our weekly workshop today. Don't forget that. But actually coming up tomorrow and Thursday, huge event lined up. 2-day trading expo and summit hosted right here at Cyber Trading University. You got to go directly to this link here, cybertradingexpo.com. Got our own website for it right there. So definitely check that out. It's in the chat board if you're a student. If you're on social media, let's actually get that posted in the comment section, the live stream chat right there as well. Just go right to this link, cybertradingexpo.com, and it'll take you right to this page here. Just make sure to register. You can claim your free ticket. Got all my friends coming up tomorrow and Thursday. Tom Sosnoff, of course, the man himself, Fausto. Got Jeff Hirsch. Met him a bunch of times, actually most recently in Orlando at the Money Show. Christopher Mullen. You got Andrew Keene, Jeff Gibby, Gep Capra. Who's that ugly mug up top there? You got Jason Bodner. You got Price Headley. You got Dan Gibby, John Hutchinson. A who's who of educators, analysts, traders, investors, gurus, etc. So make sure, once again, to register for that event. That'll be tomorrow and Thursday. So if you miss out on any of it, that way, as long as you register, you can get the recording, right? So with that said, let's hop right to it. Had a great day yesterday. Decent little move up so far in the HIMS trade so far here. I'm not in it right now. Quite frankly, this thing was a tease after the market opened up yesterday. We were looking for that breakout, never got it. We saw higher lows, but we never got a higher high. And, when we didn't get a higher high, well, maybe the contrarians out there think it's going to fill the gap. It's going to, revert back down. And possibly it didn't even do that, though. You know what I mean? So this thing was just a tease in both directions just yesterday throughout the day. Of course, this was coming off the craziest pop, one of the craziest timing, things I've ever seen, where 7:30 on a Friday, like, come on, who's at their desk there, right? Unless if maybe you're on the West Coast, maybe 4:30 Eastern time for you. Maybe you're prepping up for your dinner, at least at that point. Most people on the East Coast out to dinner. So at 7:30, HIMS on Friday just completely popped on news. Unless if you're long-term holding on, did well there. But otherwise, this was a tease yesterday. Can it try and squeeze up today at least? Is it going to finally break out and try and show better direction, at least either up or down? Whether it makes the higher high or if it pulls back, there could be a potential short opportunity there. But as of right now, it's still building up nice here. It's up over 5% for this morning. So I don't mind it here, at least for today. Go back to the well on the HIMS trade. And I'll tell you what, this is well within our price range. If this is too expensive for you, I get it. At the end of the day, everyone's working on different budgets. Really, for the more expensive stocks, we will definitely focus on the ETFs. This at least is really cheap. If you can't trade this, then we got problems. So for $22, $23 HIMS, for anyone on a really small account, I get it. You might not want to trade that. At least you could get this one at least there, the double X on HIMS, HIMZ. All right, what else we got from yesterday? This was more of a tease, but let's go through at least the picks from yesterday, catch a couple good movers that we had. Circle was a great pop, at least by the time the market had opened up. It looks a little like a tease also, kind of built support, but had a better push by the time the market opened up. You had the Circle, you had the ETF for that there too. What else we had? We had the AMD trade. That was a nice trend up throughout the morning into the early afternoon. The ETF for that one. Intel, this was a good trade to begin the calendar year from the end of 2025, mind you. But, just to say, let the stock prove itself to you. You are what the, price of the chart says you are, right, Fausto? No, but seriously, it's to say this has been a really strong trend, since like August, September time. So not a surprise, at least, with the markets recovering and popping yesterday. Certainly Intel benefited off of that pretty nicely. What else do we get here? The DTCK, more of a smaller cap stock, pump and dump type of trade. So not a surprise. It came back down. Well, I'll tell you what, this year too, free game if you're on social media. We teach you this in length. So it's not just me saying this, but you got to go through our classes to truly appreciate this. Elizabeth, Farzad, Michael, Andrea, Roberto, Leda. If you've gone through phase one, lesson two, perhaps at least, times and days of the week to trade. So reversal time, the cyber clock, ultimately, I think that might even be lesson one now. But no point being right at 10:30 in the morning on the gun, this reversed, right where we expect reversals. So does the shakedown pretty bad here? Yeah. Is it expected just because it's low float? Yeah. Is it also expected because it was right at 10:30 on the gun? Yes. So the writing was on the wall. Now it actually made a second push going into the afternoon. And well, because it's low float, this is not surprising as well. Right at 320-ish, 330, perhaps you'd finally get that cleaner pop and move up going into the end of the day. You had a pop or a drop right back down after. So this type of stock we're not really doing with anymore, unless it's like at the highs. We're not going to really focus on it as much. What else do we have here on the short side? On the short side of things, a couple of decent trades going down. RCAT, dropped off in the morning, wasn't really great for the afternoon. And actually, the other one I'll get to is the Boyle, right? Because obviously, with what's going on, not even natural gas, but more the crude oil market. Oil took a huge spike up and then it crashed back down yesterday. One of the craziest graphs that I've seen there. But then let's get to the SPY. I want to more so even get to the SPY, just overall markets. Obviously, it doesn't matter if it's Trump, it just this administration. And I just say in social media in big 2026, there's a lot of talking heads that could influence this market, right? A political statement doesn't matter, left, right, whatever. Just there's a lot of talking heads that whenever they speak, there's going to be a big reaction within the stock market, right? Well, going into the end of the day yesterday, Trump was doing a press conference, whatever, and he gave a bunch of remarks regarding Iran's oil, the Strait of Hormuz, basically saying that Trump says that he thinks the Iran war is very complete. U.S. is very far ahead of it, the initial 4 to 5 week estimated time frame on Iran. He says that it's too soon to talk about seizing Iran's oil, but doesn't want to rule it out. A whole bunch of stuff. And we're not going to sit here right now and dwell on whether we agree with him or don't agree with him. I could refer you to a bunch of separate chat rooms about that stuff. What happened, though, was a huge pop going into 3 o'clock. I was calling out the SPY to begin with. This is crazy. I'm playing around with something here myself. I coded something, believe it or not. I know me. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but I tell you, I actually coded something, an indicator I'm playing around with. And I got a signal to buy option calls on SPY right before Trump started talking. I mean, talk about Christmas times two. This couldn't have worked out any better for us inside our live trading room. And I was making that call out directly live to our students. If you're Elizabeth, Michael, Andrea, Grant, just if you were here yesterday watching in the afternoon, then you saw what we were discussing. Basically saying we think that there's a chance for the SPY to make a nice run going into the afternoon. Let me just get this post here for you. Break out your receipts here. But it's just to say it was perfect timing, right? As traders, we can't expect for this to happen every single time. But hey, right at 311, SPY has a chance for a pop, but it needs to hold over 670. And then instantly it just happened. It was crazy. Depending on how bullish this market really is right now, there's a non-zero chance, although I thought it was slim, at least it was more than zero, that the SPY could hit 680 by tonight, and then maybe like 3 minutes later, just ding, it just went up right to 680. Craziness, madness. So this ended up benefiting, obviously, the whole market at the time. NVIDIA with a great pop yesterday. Tesla had a good pop. That's actually doing pretty good this morning. Wouldn't mind, kind of putting like a Tesla type of trade on our list, maybe at the end of the meeting. Right. But it was a great day yesterday altogether. And we weren't expecting that type of pop that we had going into the close, at least not at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. So, that was a gift. Now let's just go right from top to bottom here. I think the only thing I really put on our watch list so far was the HIMS trade, HIMS. All right, so ETPC, this stock's the pop and drop stock too. More drop than pop, I reckon, of late. For as much as this did drop, I mean, perhaps you will see a little short covering. So it's up big this morning. I have no problem just slipping this on our list to start. Nice trade, top percent gainer. All right, INKT and therapeutic stock popped earlier in the morning. Nice support, but failing to make a higher high. There still could be a chance to see that happen by the time the market does open. Just be careful on the spread. This thing's bad. It's like no real people are even out there this morning on this thing. VTAC, there's orders out there for this one, but direction's not the greatest, has not been the greatest. This one's at least a little lower risk in the sense of just putting on our watch list. It's up big off of some news. Hopefully it could regain composure and hold back up above this, break a higher high over time. I don't mind adding it. Now what we'll do is kind of just rip it here, and like BYAH not doing much. The other one, BIYA, I don't know if they're related. This one, beat, same thing. It's like kind of sluggish, not a whole lot happening there of late. RXT, we called this one out earlier. I guess it's kind of still holding afloat. Doesn't, wouldn't hurt for us to add that. TDOC, not a bad chart, just the fact that it's up and at the highs. You got resistance here at 586. Not a whole lot I am like in love with so far today. The NEO, an old girlfriend of mine pretty much here. NIO, it's up over 7 or 6 to near 7%. Again, another like category 1 stock. It's like low risk. Wouldn't mind putting it on our watch list just for now, but there's nothing I'm really chomping at the bit just saying that's the one. I mean, the ATPC might look the best so far. And actually, Rivian, I am going to add to our list also. I'll go with NEO. I'll add the NIO trade there. Rivian, not bad. It popped off low volume in pre-market at least. So not really a fan of the fact it popped off low volume, but it's up for a reason. I think this morning, TD Cohen upgrades Rivian to a buy, and they raised their price target to 20. So that's the news that came out on them this morning. All right, you got a catalyst, started to trade more volume after 8 o'clock, hopefully trades more after 9:30. TPET, we are very familiar with this stock. At least, it was running up a little earlier, but then pulled back. It did have good resistance back from last week, folks, like right around this like 3-ish area. I'm sorry, right around this 2-ish area, 195, dyslexia kicking in, but right here from last week, March 3rd, right? So why does that mean anything here right now? Well, held below there yesterday, and then this morning, holding right back below that area so far. So, right now I'll kind of keep it on our side list. It's not really up that 5+%, let alone, Fausto sometimes like 10. Let's just hop over to the loser side here, see if there's anything just as a short. ARQ, this thing's getting beat up bad. I mean, technically it's easy to borrow on my TradeStation platform. BNTX, a little more expensive. Definitely took a hit though. Also easy to borrow. Just I want something that's going to fit perfectly here. BNTX, it is breaking big support on the daily chart. Looking back from last year, the BNTX trade, it's going to have a nice gap by the time the market opens up. If it comes down to 75, 76, that could be a pretty good entry over time for a potential swing. I'm not going to add it to our main list though. Something like this might be more of a distraction than anything, right? Kind of takes you away from the other trades that are looking better. All right, so some chat here, Latha, Genevieve, and all of us here. Otherwise, let me know if anything else is looking good. We'll check it out just as we finish up here. But from Latha, ATPC, can we enter still? I always like to say this. I think Latha knows this. I just say this to everyone else at least. Folks, we can't tell you directly, hey, buy right now, sell right now, buy at this time, sell at this time. It is up to you to identify those iceberg orders. Remember, that's the most important part between that and just simple trend. So after this thing had popped, well, it pulled back a bit, but as long as we could see support try and build, we could potentially get a higher high coming on up. But I didn't check out Bookmap yet, Latha, for that one. So you definitely need to see where your larger levels are on this trade. It's on our list, though. That's for sure. I don't think this market will be very active until tankers start to move in the Strait of Hormuz. UVIX, UVXY are still in bullish uptrends. What do you think about that? Not much going on right now, Jen, for the UVXY. Once we see just better intraday direction, then we'll maybe focus on those. But they're not up or down a lot percentage-wise. So for that reason, we're mainly not going to start off. And then otherwise, if they were, let's see better direction by the time the market opens, and then we'll take a trade. So, it's good speculation thought right now, and you could focus on it and definitely call it out if it's making a great move. But I do agree with the first part of it. Like, you might not see a lot of activity until the Strait of Hormuz situation kind of plays out. So those tankers start to move, right? When that happens, likely, going towards SPY and like a UVIX type thing. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, we might have missed a couple here because there's one or two stocks maybe popping right now. See, SYNX. This thing is just taken off in the last 1 minute. Saw it on my Benzinga scan. So, could we put this on our list right now? Yeah, actually. Just be careful on it just because we called out a couple stocks earlier that were more, pop and drop type of trades. There was one earlier, I forgot the name of it even. Just it was one of those that popped up in like at first and then it came crashing back down. Oh, it was this one. Yeah. So you don't want like a trade like the SYNX to end up looking like this. So if I put it on our watch list right now, just realize we're finishing up our meeting. I got to add something like this with how it's popping. But if it's going to come crashing back down, we're going to put it through the paper shredder, right? Throw it in the dumpster. Move on to the next thing, at least out there. All right, what else we got? Benzinga, you just did us pretty nicely, at least with that pop. Anything else looking good? That RXT trade, did we have that on our list? No, actually, I didn't really add that. I said I was going to come back to it there at least. So coming back to RXT, yeah, I like it. Good trade, low risk. Seed, not much there. TMDE, not much there. Folks, we're going to wrap up at least for right now. So want to make sure our students, alongside myself, we have enough time to prep up and get ready for the market open. Hey, a couple of housekeeping notes as we finish up here. So if you're on social media, just keep in mind again, we have our big Cyber Expo event coming on up tomorrow into Thursday. I lost my page right there. So just, if anything, make sure that you go directly to cybertradingexpo.com. And all you got to do is register right here. Take it to this landing page, first name, email, phone number, but it's going to get you exclusively signed up for tomorrow's event. Long list of presenters, some big friends of us here at CTU, Tom Sosnoff, Christopher Mullen, Jeff Hirsch. Got a who's who of great educators, gurus, analysts, presenters, etc. So again, if you're on social media, make sure you check that out. That'll be tomorrow into Thursday. But also for students here, as normal, today's Tuesday. So we have our weekly workshop directly inside our trading room, Traders Talk. So in regards to any trades that you took this past week, in regards to platforms like the Schwab or Thinkorswim account, I think Steve's asking actually separately to our students there. But Steve, if you want to shoot me over a quick email, I could try and assist with that as well in our workshop. So that'll be right today here at 12 o'clock Eastern. That's our weekly workshop, Traders Talk. And we look forward to having you there. All right, folks. But hey, let us get ready for the market open. Just about 10 minutes until the opening bell hits. And Fausto, myself, Rich, we'll be back on here just coming up for you in just a moment. Talk to you soon.